Hello, welcome to Do It Yourself. This is Aruna, would like to discuss reactive programming. If you like this video, do like it, subscribe to my channel and share it with people who might need this topic. So what is reactive programming? It is asynchronous programming concerned with the data streams and propagation of change. So reactive programming is purely asynchronous and it is designed to develop the application by using the streamed values, both either producing the stream of values for live information and as well as consuming the live data into your application. It's purely dependent on propagation of change. Altogether it is a new programming paradigm, and here in a reactive application data flow as an event driven streams. It is asynchronous and non-blocking. As in reactive programming, we will not be using thread per request. So there is no question of any of the thread into your application to go to a blocking mode. So any part of your application will not be entering into blocking mode. So it's a purely non-blocking development. A powerful feature in reactive programming called back pressure. So those who have worked into producer consumer applications. So here, as the load at the frequency is not matched with the producer application, the consumer application, definitely consumer can overwhelm the data whatever is produced by the producer. Like consumer is pushing back the data to publisher to slow down the process. If there is a delay from consumer side to consume the data, it can be done on a publisher. Let's say if you take another simple example, if you are reading the data from a file and another part of your application is in the back end, it is going to write into a file. So as the subscriber is taking a request, more number of requests from the client and reading it very fast, but at the same time your consumer may not write the content into the file as fast as your producer. So in that case, so we can apply this back pressure feature. So reactive programming enables back pressure feature into your development, and then it is purely functional style of coding. So we are going to use most of the time Java 8 features to develop your reactive applications. We can consider it as a prerequisite for reactive programming with Java 8 features. So if we can compare with the traditional REST API application, like in a traditional application, so all the requests coming to your application can reach at one point in time the maximum number of threads. Let's say if your application is designed with a Tomcat web container. So like Tomcat web container can provide you a maximum number of 200 threads in your container at a time. So if the number of requests your application has reached the maximum limit, then any of your thread currently running may need to enter into blocked state. So that is what is the limitation you can say into your traditional REST API applications. And definitely every request coming to your application need a new thread object. So it's purely called as thread per request model. And coming to a reactive model, we are not going to use a thread per request. It is purely asynchronous, and we are going to use with very few number of threads. Depends on your configuration of your processor. And here in REST API, definitely the threads may enter into a blocked mode, whereas here it is a purely non-blocking development. And here the APIs is purely imperative style of APIs you will be using with, whereas in REST API, in coming sessions we will be discussing with, we are going to use new frameworks to support with the reactive REST API. Here we will be in REST API traditional application, the application may need the maximum number of threads as per the scalability required, whereas here whatever is the scalable requirements, so you can use a few number of threads for your application. Traditional REST API is not supporting your back pressure support, whereas reactive REST API is back pressure compatible. So why do we need reactive programming? So in the past, when we are working with the monolithic architecture based applications, so as we know, the monolithic web services are running on an app server, okay, which are maybe supporting with the distributed applications, but there is a complexity involved and there is a scalability issues and a latency issues. So let's say your application may be communicating with the local database server, or it may be a remote database server, or sometimes your application may also communicate with the remote REST API calls. But now we are into a microservices world where the high scalability is needed, and all our microservices are running on a cloud where it is highly supporting distributed applications. At the same time, our programming and your application development is also need to be tuned accordingly using reactive programming. So basically, why do we need reactive programming is simple. We need a smoother, okay, user experience with high frequency and low latency, and the best utilization of resources. Use the fewer number of threads and make them busy without entering into blocking mode. These reactive programming based applications are suitable for processor intensive application, where the high computations are needed, where the time consuming work needs to be processed in the back end, where the complex intensive based applications we will be implementing with reactive programming. And in reactive programming, mainly the data flow as an event driven stream. Let's say some API calls need to produce the data live values, or else certain post requests from your application need to consume a live values into your application. So we may not give a persisted values. We are not going to work with transactional based information. We are going to work with a streaming based information. So in reactive programming, we will be working with the event based application development using event looping mechanism that we will be discussing into future sessions. So mainly reactive programming is to scale your application based on the load. Scaling can be done up and down. The scaling can be horizontal scaling, or it can be a vertical scaling. We can do it, we can configure it. Uses the resources efficiently. Use the lesser number of threads for your application and use them efficiently without entering into blocking mode. That itself we are calling it as non-blocking mode. And mainly the low latency is a higher requirement for the application. That is what we are going to achieve into reactive programming. That's all. I am just concluding introduction with this, and in coming videos we will be discussing with the frameworks which are supporting, and then what are the counterparts for reactive programming. Okay, if it helps, do let me know, and stay home and stay healthy. Thank you.